Hey everybody, welcome to the Morphin Grid. I'm Josh.
I'm Jake.
And this is episode
56. We just talked about it. I am looking up the date right now.
It's called On Fins and Needles.
It's called On Fins and Needles. I am 100% confident that this is the episode featuring a shark and Tommy and Jason being mad at each other. And I'm also pretty sure there's a playground. Because I have memories of those three things.
There's a playground is a pretty safe bet. You got like a 50% shot.
Yes.
Because Angel Grove Park is 50% park, 50% playground.
And then another
50% coastline / mountain / forest / whatever
/
else
caves
they need.
/ rock wall.
It's 150% of Angel Grove Park.
Yep.
You got the date yet?
Nope. May 5th.
That makes sense.
May 5th, 1994. The day after the last one, if you can believe it.
All right. We're hype, right?
Yep.
I'm hype. You're hype.
They're hype. Adequately hype. Everybody here is hype.
So I believe that
it's Morphin time! And we're back. We just watched Fins and Needles. And guys, there are sharks, there's a playground, and Tommy and Jason definitely are mad at each other for reasons we will talk about when we get there.
I think what happened, because I'm always talking about, there's the episode where they're rivals or whatever.
Is this that episode?
I think I mushed this one and Titanus' first episode together.
That makes sense. Because they're basically the same plot. But this one just has a magical impetus to it.
Right.
So,
if you're new
here, what we did is we paused the recording.
No, we didn't do that because I just jumped into it.
And then we watched the episode, and now we're coming back to talk about it.
Could have got away with not having that this episode, and then I brought it up.
And then you brought it up. Here's the thing. We're recording on a Monday. We don't usually record on Mondays because wrestling is on, and Josh needs a nap, and I just can't do a lot on Mondays. I'm like Garfield in that way. I just want to play some Minecraft and sit down for a while until Raw makes me sad. Or pleasantly numb. Instead, we are recording a Morphin Grid because my schedule's a little weird this week. So, here we are. That's why we kind of missed the first part. But, before we get into the episode, morphingrid.tumblr.com is our website. I'm updating it tonight while I'm watching Raw, so it should be updated by the time this gets to you.
Quick aside, whenever I say I'm going to do something during Raw, it doesn't get done. So, we'll see. Because we've been wanting to work on #Secret Project during Raw for the past
3 weeks,
at least 4 weeks that we haven't.
Maybe we will this time, a little bit.
Well, not if you're updating the Tumblr.
It'll take like 5 minutes.
No, it's gonna take the whole time.
It's not gonna take 3 hours. I promise you.
Because then I'll have to update the Facebook again.
You're right. You will.
I'll wait like 15 episodes again. It's fine.
Seems to be the pattern. If you want to email us, you can do that at littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com. I'm not even gonna check. We don't have time. Okay, we're gonna try to knock this out. Josh can take a nap.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good episode. It's kind of just whatever.
Well, don't oversell it.
It's not a bad episode. I just thought more happened in it.
Yeah, same.
So I think we can get through it pretty quick.
If you want to talk to us on Twitter, you can do that at Morphin Grid. We're also on Facebook at facebook.com/TheMorphinGrid. And most importantly, we're on iTunes. If you're on iTunes, on the Morphin Grid's page, you might as well just leave us a rating and review.
Just do it.
At the very least, leave a rating. Just click that button, that the amount of stars that you feel our podcast deserves. If you do that, it helps us out a lot. Makes us more visible in terms of iTunes algorithms and sorting and presenting. So please do that. We ready? Jump in the episode?
Do it.
Feet first, like a land shark jumping into a ground. Spoilers, there's a shark that jumps into the ground.
This guy, the monster is Garchomp the Pokemon.
he's Garchomp the Pokemon with a lot of other monsters' names or powers mushed together, including one that he doesn't actually have. We're told he has a power that he never shows, so I'm excited to talk about that. We start off with Tommy teaching kids how to kick his hand. Then we pan over slowly to show that Jason also is teaching this class.
This kid is kicking Tommy's hands. Go back to that for a second.
Okay.
Right? because Tommy's kind of squat down, holding his hand out and down.
Yep.
It's like it's karate. It's just a regular karate class.
Yeah.
But karate is a self-defense martial art.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems kind of like, because the kids are standing straight and just kicking up.
Right.
So it's kind of like a low blow.
This is him teaching you how to kick someone in the downstairs mix-up so hard that they don't want to fight you anymore.
It's not usually one good shot will do it.
One good shot.
One all right shot will take me down.
Oh yeah, I'm not a proud man. I'm not going to tell you that I can take two. No,
no, one, and I
want to
basically want to throw up and then just go to bed.
I had to call my mom, tell her to pick me up at the airport because I'm flying home, and I'm going to live there now. Jason is also teaching. He's like, all right, get in line for collages,
Pilates,
coffee colladas.
They're teaching a Pilates class.
This is why we don't usually record on Mondays.
Yep,
it's because my mouth doesn't know that it has to talk a lot, so it's taking the day off. He's teaching katas to the first student up is a girl named Melissa. And she does a pretty standard kata, which is, I don't know if you know what a karate kata is. It's a series of postures in a specific pattern that you are graded on.
Right.
My little brother had to do them when he was in karate. We might have talked about this. We were too poor when I was a kid, so we couldn't afford karate. By the time my little brother was about karate age, we had some money, so he took karate. So my little brother had to practice katas, and he was doing it in the yard and in literally everywhere. And I don't think that they are super helpful as far as self-defense goes, but
I think
knowing
it's like a
the
discipline
motions,
thing.
Yeah, it's that and body control, just
Yeah.
knowing where to stop your body and where to make your hands be.
Right.
I'm sure there's a lot of tertiary effects that I don't know because I never took karate.
I didn't either.
I just watched Power Rangers.
We also couldn't afford it when I was a kid, and I wanted to get into it, but I was 19. And at that point, I don't think my body's going to bend like that because it hadn't for 19 years.
Right,
so.
Right. So you kind of missed the boat had sailed.
Yeah, it's sad. But if I get back into yoga like I want to, who knows?
Yeah. Back to Power Rangers. Zach and Trini and Kimberly are all talking about how cool it. And Billy. Billy's also there. He's a Power Ranger too.
Oh, right, and Billy.
They're talking about how cool it is that Jason and Tommy are teaching free karate classes because it keeps kids out of trouble. Actually, you know what? No, it's just Billy and Zach.
The girls are there, right?
No, they don't show up until after the day.
Right. No,
skips.
you're right.
He goes over the benefits of karate, keeps kids out of trouble, discipline, self-respect, all of the things that karate traditionally teaches.
Self-esteem.
That's the word I was looking for, but instead I found respect. Again, it's a Monday. Sorry about it. We're up in the moon. Jump up to the moon, where Rita hates teamwork. She hates that Tommy and Jason are
I think we jump up
together.
there, and she just starts with, "Oh, those guys!"
Yep. Oh, those guys with their katas and their teamwork and their positive
And their
attitudes.
silly headbands.
How dare they? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send the slippery shark down to cast his rivalry spell. This is important to note. Rita does not have a rivalry spell, but she can summon a monster that does have one. That's weird.
She doesn't even summon him. Finster makes him.
Finster makes him. We're going to have to do maybe a bonus episode on how Rita's magic or magic in the Power Rangers universe works.
It doesn't. It's
exactly.
different per episode.
Exactly. I think that would be a good 15-minute bonus episode. But that's for a different time. Jump back down to the Earth where Jason and Tommy are walking through the park. For some reason, I'm sure. They'd probably have to go somewhere else. They were just at the juice bar. I don't know where else to go.
They have to cross the park to get back to school.
Right. They're in a park or a playground. So
Right.
memory number 1, playground. Check. Ding. Also, the shark is there. He's not there yet, but he's coming. They've mentioned the shark.
Shark confirmed.
Yeah, shark confirmed. And rivalry spell. So, boom.
There it is.
Hat trick. Putties attack. One of them throws a shark fin looking boomerang thing at Tommy. It doesn't flip end over end.
It just goes.
It
straight ahead.
It sort of waddles through the air.
It only wobbles because it's like on a string.
Yeah. Tommy grabs it out of the air. It zaps him with lightning. And then he falls down. Jason kicks his way over, like kicks Putty's out of the way until he gets over there. He's like, "You all right?"
At the beginning of this fight, speaking of kicks, Jason Frank, as this actor is known at this point.
Yeah,
in
the credits, it just says Jason Frank. I don't know when he started using the middle name, but I'm glad he did.
By Zio. Season 2.
Probably season 2.
But he kicks 4 or 5 putties super rapid fire, and it might be sped up, but he's such a quick karate guy that you can't quite tell.
It's hard to tell. Yeah, he's got some moves.
Yeah,
there is a reason he was selected for this, and it was not his acting ability. I tell you what. Though to be fair, there's some pretty good acting in this episode.
Is it acting in this episode?
At this point, maybe not. No, at this point, maybe.
At this point, maybe. But once they're mad at each other,
who knows?
I don't know
happens.
how far back that goes.
Yeah. So we'll look into that maybe, because now I'm curious. Because it seemed kind of real. Anyway,
a little bit.
A putty throws the boomerang at Jason once he gets over to Tommy, and there's a reverse footage shot. Jason catches it between his hands.
Yeah, he does.
And he stands up, catches it between his hands. So what he actually did was hold it between his hands, throw it weirdly, and then duck down. And then they just reversed that so he could catch it.
There's a lot of weird film tricks in Power Rangers.
Yeah. It's because film tricks are the cheapest way to get things across. You don't have to use CG. You don't have to waste any time. You just use some weird in-camera tricks. I wish more stuff did that. Because nowadays, it's pretty much just fix it in post.
Yep.
Jason catches the boomerang. It zaps him with lightning. And now they mad at each other. Because Jason's it
takes a minute. They finish this fight.
They start walking, continuing on to going somewhere, I guess. And it's weird because it starts off really slow, but there's no ramp. It's just all of a sudden... It's I could have had it. No, you couldn't have. Well, I hate you. Time to die. It's just immediate. They're arguing back and forth about this, and then Jason drops the mic on Tommy. This is, I think, the end of the argument when they just decided that now they hate each other because of the spell. Jason's like, Power Rangers were fine before you showed up.
I think he says the Power Rangers were doing great.
Yeah, and then you came.
Which kind of implies that now they're doing worse.
Right.
They're not really.
Well, if you look at it, they used to be able to beat everything
without Tommy.
Now every other thing they need Tommy for. So I don't think it's warranted. I don't think they're doing worse. I think they're doing pretty much exactly the same. It's just the monsters are stronger because
they can win faster with Tommy.
With Tommy, yeah.
Instead of having to figure out a way to get out of Pumpkin Wrapper's garland vine, Tommy will just cut it.
Tommy just cuts it. And they kill Pumpkin Wrapper in
a second.
1 second. Poor Pumpkin Wrapper. Cut to the next day. I think it's the next day, or maybe it's just at school later. I don't know. I didn't look at what Zach was wearing to tell if the day has changed.
Should be looking at what Kimberly was wearing.
Well, we're going to do that right now.
Okay.
Because I was looking at that. She's wearing jeans, mom-style jeans, her pink Doc Martens, which I don't think we've seen in quite some time, but she's definitely
she's been wearing those leather boots.
Yeah, she's definitely wearing the Doc Martens this time. She's wearing a pink tank top, t-shirt, something tucked in under a pink striped shirt. It is probably the 80s-ist shirt she's worn. It's got shoulder pads. The sleeves are rolled up and they're huge. Maybe it is pretty 90s now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like she was in a music video for something recently. She just shot a music video and then now she has to go to school. Trini, on the other hand, is wearing yellow shirt, some short shorts, and suspenders keeping those short shorts up. She's pulling them off.
Yeah.
So Tommy and Jason are fighting. They're still arguing back and forth, and Zach tries to like break the tension, being like, "Hey, karate class," or Kim tries to break the tension. She's like, "Your karate class sounds like it's going pretty well." And Tommy's like, "Well, yeah, whatever. I quit." And they're like, "Oh my god, why?" And Jason's like, "Because he's a quitter. That's what quitters do." He's like, "They quit." And then, as Josh pointed out to me,
In about 20 episodes,
Jason,
Austin St. John
Austin
quits.
St. John will go on to quit. There's a money dispute on that, which is weird.
It is a little bit.
I'm going to do some research, and we're going to definitely find out
But
about
no
that.
set of Power Rangers has been Power Rangers this long since. They're
Right.
all one season. So, like, if you know that going in, right? If I'm Saban and you're an actor
Right.
Actor from the planet, whatever.
Sesame
I had
Prime.
nowhere to go with that. And I'm like, hey, I'll give you X amount of money for 40 episodes. And you're
Right.
like, yeah, that's fine. You agree on that. And then I'm like, oh, hey, got 20 more episodes coming.
But I'm not going to pay you any.
But it's like less per episode when you do the
Right.
math. And then if it just keeps going from there.
Right. I get it. There's a lot of contract disputes. I'm sure it's been like widely reported on. So by the time that episode hits, I will have done some research and I will know why, and we will be able to talk about it.
And we'll know because Zach's hair will suddenly, instead of dreads, be his flat top again.
Because
they just use
footage.
use stock footage of Power Rangers.
Right. It's really weird. And then like the last shot of them is in the viewing globe of them getting in a car, and you can't see any of their faces. It's really weird. And like they have people dub over their voices. There's a lot of them morphed, or they're just not
They use
there.
old lines.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff. It's weird, man.
Those will be fun to talk about.
Yeah.
When we get there.
So they're arguing. Bulk and Skull need to stir the crap, as it were. So they're like, "You see what I'm saying?" They're arguing, and then they come up and they're basically like, "You should fight. I heard Tommy said you were a dummy, Jason." I don't know exactly what they said, but they're just instigating. And
It
so,
was basically just like, you guys need to fight. It's the only way.
it's the only way to decide who is better at being a person. So they about fight. They're just about to. And Miss Appleby rounds the corner. Bulk and Skull are like, "We were just trying to break him up."
Yeah, Bulk like hears her coming.
Yeah.
And grabs Jason to make it look like he was
Right.
trying to separate them.
And she's not buying this. She's like, "I hardly think you were trying to separate a fight." And then Kimberly and Trini,
I like that Miss Appleby's not a dummy.
right? Kimberly and Trini then lie to her. They lie.
Yeah.
This is that attitude Zordon was talking about. Because they're like, "Oh, they were just practicing moves for their karate class that they teach." And she's like, "Well, the hallway is not the place to do that. Begone." And they all scatter and go to class, I guess. And I don't know if they say, like, "We'll settle this later," but it's heavily implied. It's overtones of, like, we're not done here with this fight.
Right.
We jump up to the moon, where Rita tells Goldar to send the monster, not just sending the monster herself, which she will do in 1 minute, but she specifically tells Goldar to send the slippery shark, which is a terrible name for
It's
a
bad.
monster. I in my notes, he just turns into Slippy really quick. I think this is the last instance of slippery shark in my notes. Finster is working on him, goes to put him in the oven, the Monster-matic, and he's working on Pudgy Pig
He's
again.
working on another Pudgy Pig.
Pig. This one looks good, though. This is a
So,
better looking Pudgy Pig.
Like, we know the reason he's working on Punny Pidge.
One more time.
We know that the reason he's working on Pudgy Pig so much is because that's just the footage
Right.
that they use over and over again. But in the Power Rangers kayfabe, Finster is constantly crafting new Pudgy Pigs.
Yes, if you take kayfabe, for those of you who are not wrestling fans, is like you guys all know wrestling is not
kayfabe
is
is
not
the word
real,
for
right?
the reality within the story.
It is the reality within the story. Yes, exactly. So, Power Rangers kayfabe, or really, if you apply kayfabe to anything, is you have to take what is there and try to like assume that it's part of the story for a reason, because it's like it's real. It's supposed to be real. So it's not
Right.
just like stock footage they keep using. It's Finster really wanting to get Pudgy Pig right. One of these days.
Boy, when he does.
How great would that episode be, too? Like, if they had thought ahead, you know, and they're just like, let's do another Pudgy Pig, but here's a new Pudgy Pig.
Turn up the spicy food tolerance now.
Right? Yeah, he's not allergic to spicy food. His arms are on the side of him.
Instead of in his mouth.
Maybe he's not just a ball of pig face and legs. Maybe he's got some armor instead of just that Centurion helmet. There could be some cool stuff there.
I would have liked like a 5-episode angle where there's just progressively good Pudgy Pigs.
Right.
Until he's just a monster warrior.
Till he is like...
He's Pudgy Pig, but he's like a full-bodied pig monster in Goldar armor.
Yeah, oh, it'd be great.
With wings.
And
a gun.
Slippy jumps out, or gets popped out of the Monstermatic. He's a hammerhead shark. And then Rita...
He's a Garchomp.
He's a Garchomp, which is a Pokemon. Rita blasts him to Earth with a pink laser. Why did she tell Goldar to do it? Why?
I don't know. We got weird footage of her blasting him with that laser, too.
Yeah, it was something off about it. And I don't think they watched the whole shot. They write it as they are watching it. So, like, she's there like, and they're like, all right, send the monster to Earth. And then she sent it, and they're like, whatever, too late to turn back.
It's already wrote out.
We already sent it out. We go back down to the juice bar where there is a crowd of people. They have formed to watch Jason and Tommy fight. Bulk and Skull are taking bets, sort of. They are selling tickets. I don't know what's happening with the betting system. Seems like they're betting, but one guy's like...
It's not bets, he's just selling tickets to the show.
But one guy buys 20 tickets.
He just really wants to see the fight.
I guess.
He wants to have a good amount of space where he can be comfortable.
But it's standing room only.
But he got 20 tickets, so he can be like, it's all the space is mine.
Everyone needs to get away from me.
I don't know.
He gets to ref because actually, Bulk has the ref shirt on, so...
And he's like, I'll take 20 tickets. And it looks like he has like $10.
Right.
And so far, it's been $1 a ticket.
Yep.
Gives it to Skull and just grabs...
a ring.
He grabs the tickets and walks away, and whatever breaks off...
He gets a length of tickets.
Is what he gets.
Who knows how much it is. Skull can't count, as is clearly established.
He can count to 1.
He got to 1, and then he lost count of how much money he had. That's a very Skull thing to do. He also thinks he might be 48. Or doesn't know that 50 does not come directly after 16.
50 is much closer to 16 than he thinks. Or opposite of that. He thinks it's much closer than it is.
So we jump to the command center for 1 second, and Slippy is like bouncing around because he can teleport, because all monsters can teleport now, I guess. Ever since at least the CU2 stuff, every monster has been able to teleport.
Can teleport.
The command center can't pinpoint him, so they're like, he could be anywhere. Oh no.
Here he is on the viewing globe.
But we're looking at him, but we don't know where that is.
We can't find him, but here he is. Unless that's previously recorded footage.
Maybe it's like a lag. Like, oh, that's where he was 10 seconds ago. We could be anywhere now because we can't catch up to him. I don't know. It's dumb.
One of his powers is that he's super fast.
Yes. Sure.
But he's not.
He
runs
speed.
Like a goober,
but
at regular speed. The
he's-
only reason he travels quickly is because he can just teleport.
He teleports, and he's quick when he's fighting later. Like, he's a quick guy, but he's not, like, speedy. He's not fast.
In the giant fight, he's quick in a dumb, goofy way.
In a goobery way. He is the gobbledygooker. Ring the bell, sucker. Fight.
Bing.
Tommy and Jason are posturing the crap out of each other. This is like the start of every MMA fight I've ever seen that Ronda Rousey wasn't in.
Because she would just grab your arm and rip it off.
Because she just tries to punch your face until your arm is available to be ripped off. So they're about to fight. They're like about to get into it. And Zach stops them, tries to like appeal to their better senses. He's like, guys, remember what you told your students? Only if it's the last defense.
Only fight if nothing else works.
Yeah, if there's nothing else you can do.
They say it in a better way.
I
don't remember how, though.
But they're like, this is it. This is the only way we could settle this, Zach. Get out of here. Get out of my face. Then
It would have been cool because the spell makes them rivals, or it's supposed to just make those two rivals, but instead it just makes them angry people.
It makes them mad at
and it
each other.
focuses their anger at each other.
Right, yeah.
So it would have been cool if Zach was like, guys, stop. And they were like super nice to Zach.
They were like fine with Zach. They're like, no, you see, we have to beat you.
We can't. We tried talking about it, and he just
shut up, Jason, I'll kill you.
He just keeps yelling at me. See? We have to fight. There's no other way.
There's no other way. There's a lot of flannel in this scene. There's like a crowd shot.
Well,
and
it's 94.
Everybody except for the Power Rangers and Bulk and Skull is wearing flannel. There might be a couple stragglers.
Sometimes Bulk and or Skull has a flannel around their waist too.
Not this time, though. But there was a lot of flannel. Like, they were like, extras, show up in flannel or we're going to throw you out. So they're like, well,
it's a fight, so it's got to be grungy.
You got to have some flannel on for a fight.
It's flannel. Flannel is grunge.
Zordon calls before they can actually fight, and Zach is like, guys, we have to go. We got to go. And that, I guess that appeals to their senses because
it's a little bit like, no, you're right. We still have to save the world.
Right, yeah. We can't just ignore life-threatening danger. So they leave. Bulk and Skull try to stop them. They are unsuccessful. The people who just paid Bulk and Skull to watch a fight in a public juice bar chase them out because they want their money back, and Bulk and Skull, I guess, don't want to give it to them.
No, Bulk says something like, "Oh, the fight's been delayed.
Hold on to your ticket.
Hold on to your ticket, and then we'll get out of here as fast as we can." Yeah. And then they start to run.
I do like that. So we go back to the command center, and this is that power that I talked about in the beginning. That because Zordon has a list of his powers, and he knows about the rivalry spell.
You can't find him, but he can show him on the viewing globe and scan him for powers.
Right.
But who knows where he is?
Shrugging my shoulders so hard I might dislocate him. Who knows?
I actually have done something weird to my right shoulder.
Oh, take some ibuprofen.
I did not want to take. I just took some yesterday. I don't want to take it too much because it's like really bad for your stomach lining if you overdo it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No. You already have a suspect stomach, so
probably because I used to just take it whenever something was a little wrong.
That might be it. The Shark's powers are as follows. He is very quick. He can fly, and he can go underground as a land shark. He's a lot of pieces of a lot of different monsters.
His underground thing is cool, but it's the same as the Excadrill monster.
Right, but just not Excadrill.
Excadrill's the Pokemon. I don't know.
You're thinking of Dremel.
Yes.
Here's the thing. He never flies. Not once. He does
like when a shark jumps out of water to grab a seagull or whatever.
And like as he's teleporting around, he'll like jump in the air and teleport and then land.
We get it, dog. He can't fly. I know.
Can't fly.
I'm mad too.
Everyone's mad about it. You can't really hear the dog on the recording, which is nice.
But we can hear it very vividly.
Yes, so it feels
so that we talk to it.
We need to address him. This little yappy dumb dog, who I've never actually seen, might be a recording of a yappy dumb dog.
It sounds the same every time,
as far as I can tell. Here's another cool thing about this scene, or I guess a cool thing, because a lot of it's kind of weird. Billy says, "Thank goodness I got over my fear of fish." Continuity.
Yeah, character growth.
Yeah, I love this. This and Zach constantly
Zach did not get over his fear of bugs.
He said he did because he wants to look tough.
But as soon as there's a bug, Zach will be like, "Ooh, gross."
Yeah, he'll fight it. He'll be around it. He won't run away or make a giant guppy face and scream at it. But
that's my favorite.
Dude is still afraid of bugs.
Oh yeah. At the very least, just thinks they're gross.
Zordon knows about the rivalry spell somehow. Why he didn't tell anybody?
Because they're watching him on the viewing globe again, right?
Right.
And then Jason and Zach start yelling at each other. Jason and Tommy, I meant. Start yelling at each other, and Zordon's like, "You two must listen close. You guys are under spell. I wasn't going to tell you, but now you're fighting in the command center, and I'm kind of obligated.
I can't hide it anymore."
So his plan to break the spell, it's Monday. I was a little sleepy.
I know. I had to tell you to stop being asleep at one point.
There was a couple times where I couldn't, and I was a little bit. This might have been one of them, and then I woke up right in the middle of it. But it seemed to me like his plan was to break the spell. Jason and Tommy go fight the monster. Everyone else stay here.
Yeah, I also don't remember exactly what happened. He basically says the only way to break the spell is for you guys to stop being mad right now.
Is the only way to break the spell is for you to work together.
You got to work together right now. Like he's like while they're in the command center. But then they're like, nope, forget that. It's Morphin time. Dragonsaur. They teleport out. And I think it's maybe Zordon was like, don't go after him. Let him figure it out.
Before they morph away, he tells the other one, or he says, you will stay here on standby. Like, that's all I caught.
If they try to kill each other, you can go
So I
stop
think the plan is these two will have to fight the monster together. And if they die, then you guys have to go kill it.
Stop it. Don't touch his fin boomerang.
So then Tommy's like, I got this. And Jason's like, don't you dare. And then they both yell, it's Morphin time, like competitively.
Yeah, that was neat. I like that. That was a good touch. They teleport to some part of the park where Slippy is scooting around, and they make a wager. They're like, and they're in their American costumes for this part, but not for the rest of it.
They are, because they're like yelling at each other.
Yeah.
And Tommy's got like little arm cuffs.
Yep.
The one on his right arm slipped down around the top of his glove.
Looked like a little goober. A little dummy with your bad arm cuff, floaty water wingy thing. The wager.
So that if he has to go in the water to get Dragonzord physically.
Right.
He'll
float back up, yeah. So the wager is if Tommy gets him first, he becomes the leader of the Power Rangers. If Jason gets him first, him being Slippy, if Jason gets him first, then Tommy has to turn in his power coin.
Tommy's not a Ranger anymore.
Yes. That's a really even bet, I think.
Right.
Because it's like if Tommy wins.
Because if Tommy wins and he takes over the Power Rangers,
Jason's going to be mad.
The spell's never broken.
Right.
So Jason's going to quit the Power Rangers.
Right. Or just be mad and like sabotage them and turn evil.
Or he'll be Starscream.
Yeah. I'm putting that on my list of alternate universes. So far I only have the one, which is they're all trapped in Madame Woe's cave and Billy has to learn magic to find them.
Right.
To get them out, which could be a really good comic series. Paper Cuts, I know you have the licensing. You can give me a call. You can email me, littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com. I know you're listening to this. Obviously. Forget that stuff I said about the Free Comic Day issue. Don't worry about it. I haven't read the graphic novel yet, but I plan to.
Is it out?
Yeah, I think. I'm pretty sure it is.
If you get it, I'll read it. I won't buy it, though, because the comic wasn't good.
No.
I liked that. I'm leaving a pause so you can cut it. I like because it's kind of a spoiler.
Right.
I like that the rad bug was the monster. I like that the rad bug was in it.
Yeah. They used Power Rangers continuity.
Yeah.
In a way that made sense. I don't like that Trini got hit by a car. That was.
I just think that was an oversight. I don't think that was.
I think it was an oversight, but I immediately noticed it. Right. So like, nobody on the Paper Cuts editorial staff gives a shit about Power Rangers if that's the case. Basically, I mean they don't.
I didn't even pick up on it until you told me. So
that's fair. Anyway,
but we love Power Rangers differently, I think.
Right. So we're getting back to the episode.
Yes, let's do it.
Jason almost gets him because he's jumping around. He's flying, I guess, flying in very short bursts and teleporting.
He jumps and makes like a quick little wormhole.
And then lands through that.
I guess that's how
Superman's through that.
But he doesn't fly because he just falls out of the other side.
Yeah, it's like I fly the same way that he does.
Yeah.
In that I can jump and be in the air for a little while, but then I come down immediately. Then we got to Tommy. Tommy's doing some goofy dodging, trying to not get cut. Because when he's in land shark mode, he can cut through anything, I guess is the same. They said that.
I think so.
So he's like, Tommy's trying to get him, but also not get hit. So there's kind of like a trying to grab him while dodging him. There's some neat stuff. It's a lot of like flipping over himself, pantomime stuff, but it's funny. There's a lot of neat camera tricks like we talked about earlier with the shark. He'll jump into the ground. There'll be like a pit, and it will cut at like when he's just about done to like flat ground. It's it's done so quick and so like smoothly that it looks like he is just jumping into the ground. There's noticeably like a cut, but I think it works for the power. They have different plans on how to catch it because Tommy's convinced that he has to catch it in the ground, and Jason, of course, is convinced that he has to catch it in the air. And I think this is where they were like rivalry spell. Even though they're not being very competitive and like angry at each other, they're just like trying to convince the other one to do another thing.
Your way's stupid, my way's the way to do it.
It's toned down, but the voice acting is done in such a way that like they're still mad at each other. You can still tell. So that's pretty neat. There's a lot more care put into it than maybe if this would have been 20 episodes ago.
Yeah.
20, 30 episodes ago. But it's still a little jarring because like when they're mad at each other in the beginning, it cuts to them in American suits. So that way they can like gesticulate madness instead of like, you don't know what you're doing, and like point to their head and like, be like with their hands being like, what are you thinking? That kind of thing.
Yeah,
there's a lot of weird posturing going on. I like it because it's just
goofy enough.
It's just goofy enough. And the only way you can show what they're actually thinking is with movement.
Right, because you can't see any part of their face.
Yeah, so it's pretty neat the way they do it. Tommy's plan is to catch him while he's in the ground. Jason's plan is to catch him in the sky, even though they both just tried that very same thing, and it didn't work. But hey, more jumping around, more goofiness. It's going to be fine. For a second, I thought there were two sharks. Did it feel like that to you?
No.
Okay, because for me, it was like Tommy is over here. Jason is all the way over here. But they're fighting him almost concurrently.
Like he's so fast.
I guess. But it just, for like 1 second, I was like, oh, there's two sharks maybe. But there's not.
Yeah, there's Slippery and there's Shark.
And Shark. Oh, of course.
John Tenta is the other one. Shark.
Right. Shark.
And then there's Slippy.
And Slippy.
The Toad.
The Toad from Star
Fox.
They're arguing, like they can't get the shark, and the shark jumps them and punches the both of them in the face. And that's all it took to get them on the same page. Because getting punched in the face when you're not expecting it is the actual worst.
Because now the thing you're maddest at in the world is the thing that hit you in the face.
Sucker punched your face. So they combine their plans, which is lure him into the ground, and then when he goes to trick you by jumping into the sky, having the other one, Tommy in this case, jump on Jason's shoulders and have a net.
And then just get a net. Power net.
Dragon net because it's green. So he dragon nets him, and then we cut back to the command center, and Kim is like, oh, thank God. I thought they were all going to kill each other. It's going to be bad.
Yeah, because they get decked, and then they're on the ground, and then Jason's like, let's get him.
Let's get him.
And then Tommy's just like, I'm with you, buddy.
Yeah.
Just instantly.
Like, immediately they're bros again.
The spell doesn't technically break until they high five.
Right.
Because then you see the lightning come
dissipate.
out of them.
Yeah. So Kim is relieved. Zordon's like, all right, Rangers, go help them out now that they are fine. Because they cut him in the net. They high-fived.
Yeah.
The evil spell went away, so then the Rangers come in to, like, gank him. Because he gets out of the net. He, like, cuts the net or teleports through or something, and he starts, like, beating him up. I don't know why he didn't do this before.
And Jason's like, we need some help.
Yeah.
Ah.
So Zach calls the morph. I think Zach
he's the second in command.
He is the second in command. It should be Trini, but that's neither here nor there. Has anybody else called the morph?
Trini has when there's three of them.
When Zach's not there?
When Zach's not there.
And has Kimberly? I don't think so.
Not that I can remember.
I know Billy hasn't. No.
Billy's number 5.
If you guys remember a time when they call him, like with a specific episode, like tweet us or email us or something, because I'm interested to see what the circumstances are,
right?
To where Kimberly, and if they're alone, it doesn't count.
Maybe she has, because she's that doesn't count if they're alone.
It doesn't count if they're alone.
Okay.
Because obviously,
because they've all said it if they're alone. All right. But I don't remember then. Yeah.
So just if you guys remember, tweet us, email us, send us some form of communication to let us know. The 4 Rangers jump in with their dino swords. They're slashing at him. He's blocking.
It's the blasters in knife mode. He said dino sword. It might be confusing. I don't know.
Yeah, the dino blasters in the knife mode. To me, they're dino swords. Also,
I want to call them Dino Daggers, but
that's only in one episode.
that's Trini's weapon for that episode.
Yeah. That was like the 5th episode too.
They were just trying something new.
That was like 50 episodes ago. Guys, we've been doing this for a while.
We have. I'm surprised.
There's a point where he jumps into the ground. You can clearly see that there's like a remote control car under this fin that they just like put it on because there's like a base, like a square base that you can very clearly see like driving around that they jump out of the way of. They get the power cannon, but they call it the Mega Blaster for this episode.
Oh, yeah, this part's really cool. This is probably the coolest part of the episode.
This is probably the coolest part. They get them all together. As they are putting the power sword down,
Rita sees what's happening.
Yes, she's been actually paying attention this time.
In the first instance of good judgment on Rita's part,
ever,
she basically yells, "No!" and throws her wand to make him grow.
Yeah. Which is real neat.
Yeah.
And like as he's growing, the laser blast like goes by him.
It misses him because he grew
out of
over
it. Why couldn't you have done this to Pumpkin Wrapper, Rita?
She didn't like Pumpkin Wrapper.
I guess not.
She didn't make him. He existed in the Stinky Pumpkin Patch.
They grew him, so it's not like her baby.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't understand it, but I get it.
I don't get it either. He's a pretty cool guy.
They get in their Zords. Tommy uses the command to summon Dragon Zord instead of the summon because Dragon Zord is already
He's already
in town.
there. He just plays the command and he just steps up.
Starts fighting. There's a moment that made me eat my words. Billy thought of a plan.
No, you shut up.
He did, I promise you. Billy's plan is when he goes to hit you with the boomerang, catch it, and let Tommy drill him with the tail of the Dragon Zord. That's a Billy plan. It's not as effective as all of Zach's plans end with the monster dying immediately.
Yes.
Billy's plan like stopped him for a second. Didn't kill him, didn't really slow him down, but it definitely stopped him for a second. They get the power sword. I guess it gives him enough time to get the power sword. He goes to block with the boomerang, gets it cut in half, and from there it's all downhill. He gets cut into pieces. And he's super goofy. We talked about it earlier. He's jumping around like a goober in this fight. And there's a point where he
runs like he's supposed to be super fast, right?
Right.
So they asked like a 5-year-old kid. They were like, "Hey, run like you're super fast." So and they mimicked that. So the shark runs that weird like knees as high up as you can get him.
Right.
Kind of jump run.
Yeah, it's he is goofy.
He does that around the Megazord and the Dragon Zord. He looks so goofy.
I guess it's effective though. He says something to the effect of like he gets his thing cut in half and he's like, "I'm gonna get you, Power Rangers," and then they cut him with the sword, with the power sword, and he goes, "I guess not." And then he like does his super melodramatic like spin around and like Lady Macbeth faint, and then he blows up. It's funny. It's dumb, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Then we come back to the juice bar. Tommy and Jason are teaching. They're working together again. They're teaching the class.
They're doing that. They're like that squat, like slow punch.
Yeah, the horse stance, and then slow punches. I don't know if it's called horse stance. It looks like they're about to ride a horse.
Right.
They're a little bow-legged, and then, my note. I stopped taking a note halfway through it. I'm good at this, guys. I'm trying to reassemble. The note is, this is the note. Billy mentions it B, the letter B. And then I was like, next! He does say something about them being back together.
He's probably just like, it's good to see them working together.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, confession time. I think this might be the next day.
This I'm going to say is the next day because they're teaching the class again.
But I don't remember if Kimberly's wearing something different and Bulk and Skull are wearing the same thing all cut up like they were running all night. So this might just be later that afternoon.
It might be. They had to go to school, so the kids also had to go to school.
Right.
And come back
after school the next
day.
day.
Do more karate.
So Bulk and Skull, their clothes are all torn up from being ripped to shreds trying to get their money back by, I guess, a pack of Wolverines instead of human beings. they're like, you owe us a fight, and Tommy and Jason are like, nah, we're not gonna fight. We're over it. We had a bad day. It's done. And so they go, well, we'll give you a fight then. And they swing. Tommy and Jason casually lean back. Bulk and Skull punch each other in the fist, and that knocks them out, or down at least.
I think they do that thing where they like look at each other with that immense facial pain,
Right,
and slowly melt off
just
camera.
kind of lump to the ground. And then the moral of the story is there's always another way. You don't have to fight. There's always another way. And the episode's over. Final thoughts.
Go by.
Ranger bye. Final thoughts on Fins and Needles.
I'm struggling so hard.
I wish this was a video podcast so you could see this face. There are no needles at all.
There aren't. I thought he might have a needle power because like sharks have teeth that would attract enough.
Right, and he already took a lot of other people's powers. He could have had Ridley's power of feather needles in his mouth, but they'd be shark tooths.
That would be cool.
That would have been cool. Instead, nah.
Instead, he's kind of dumb. He's a dumb,
Yeah.
gooby monster.
But this is, I think, the last Mighty Morphin episode that like I vividly remember from when I was a kid, because I remember like more of season 2 than I do of season 1. I remember more of season 3 than I do of season 1. I think I remember season 2 the best because I've probably seen it the most. But this specific episode was like when we started, I was like, this is the episode I'm waiting for. Other than switching places, because that's my favorite episode of season 1. But like
at the end of it, you were like, ew, no.
yeah, I was like, this is it.
That was it.
Yeah. So
we've been talking about this episode like for a while. We keep bringing it up.
yeah,
Now it's here.
now it's here, and
it's
I think
disappointing.
we built it up too much.
Probably.
Yeah, because you said
I combined it with the other one.
right. I thought that's how it went. I thought like the shark chased them up the mountain, then they got the slingers, and then they shot the shark. I guess not.
It was just the super putties that never came back, even though Rita has a ton of that super putty
yeah.
left.
She had like a huge freaking ball
She
of
should
it.
just make a monster out of the super
That's
putty.
what Armadillo was made of.
Boom.
Sockadillo. Armadillo is, I think, a Ben 10 character.
Armored Armadillo is a Mega Man X boss.
Truth. Yeah, Sockadillo.
With astonishingly similar powers.
Ah, weird. Who came first? I think Power Rangers.
Power Rangers
Yeah.
did.
That's it, though. I got nothing else to say. We built it up a little too much. I still liked it. I still thought it was a good episode.
Yeah, it was fine.
Them being mad at each other acting was very good to the point where maybe it was real.
Maybe some of it was a little...
Maybe it was them trying to like get the tension out by having to be mad at each other and then having to like be friends at the end.
Right.
Or it hasn't started yet. Who knows?
I don't know. Only 2 people know.
Right.
Right?
So, Jason David
Well,
Frank,
I'm sure more people do. People that have worked with them.
Austin St. John, either one of you guys or both want to come on to the Morphin Grid. We'll hash this out.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
do
game.
it. Let's do that. Let's fix this.
Get a bunch of good I statements out.
Yep.
And talk about our feelings.
A lot of good I statements. You guys remember I statements from school?
I think that would be cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think we have the pull for that
The
yet.
clout, yeah. Someday. Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
One last thing before I run out. I run by the where you can find us stuff again. We only have 2 more weeks of season 1 because this is episode 56. So we got 7 and 8, and then 9 and 60, and then we're taking a break. But don't you fear.
Don't turn that dial.
Don't turn that dial. There will still be Morphin Grids. Probably a lot. I don't know what the schedule will be. We're going to take about a month off. Josh is going to be on vacation for a week, so we're not going to record it all. But I have at least 4 bonus episodes worth of material of like...
There's a bunch of stuff that I'll say we, but really you have cut out.
Yeah.
That we can just Frankenstein together into a bunch of goofy
Yeah.
episodes of us talking about whatever.
Like there's a Zelda one. There is a one about T-shirts, like mashup T-shirts. There's a lot. So like each of the bonus episodes are going to be like 2 5 to 10 minute cut segments
Yeah.
put together, and then I'll just like intro it, tell you what's going on. We're also doing we have an NXT bonus episode where we figure out how to make NXT a Sentai. We're going to do that. We're going to explain how Salute Your Shorts is Power Rangers minus monsters. We're going to have an episode about that. And then we're going to do the season finale epilogue episode, which is us watching the original pilot, which we did in the Morphin commentary. And then we're going to do a real Power Ranger style or Morphin Grid style episode about
the unaired pilot.
Just like this great programming that you just listened to. I say great. That's all right.
That's so great.
So great.
So
good.
good.
It's the best. Best in the world.
Good.
So look forward to that. There will definitely be more Morphin Grid in that month off, but we're not going to be doing 2 a week, killing ourselves
right
for at least a month. And then we'll be back 2 episodes a week. Unless it's a 3-parter, then 3 episodes. There's a 4-parter in there somewhere. So that'll be 4 episodes in 1 week. Haven't done that in a while. Actually, we haven't done 4 ever. We did 5.
We have 5 twice?
Just once. We did 5 the first week.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
Was 5 in a row, but we had those banked for like a month and a half. So yeah, it's exciting. We're almost done with season 1. That's real weird.
Yeah,
that's real weird that we made it this far, and we couldn't have done it without the continued support of listeners like you.
Of viewers like you.
MorphinGrid.tumblr.com is getting updated tonight, so by the time you hear this, it definitely will be updated. You can email us at littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com. If you want to tweet us, you can do that at MorphinGrid on Twitter, or you can talk to us on Facebook at facebook.com/themorphingrid. And finally, we're on iTunes. If you want to leave us a rating and review, we'd super appreciate it, etc., etc. You've heard this spiel like, 56, probably 60-something times. Kind of bonuses? Bonus-i? Boni episodes?
Don't call them that.
Bobos. During Bobos. So, thank you very much for listening. And until next time, may the power protect you. Can't be that hard. Check.
Jack. It's a little Kennedy.